It's Firearms Friday at the Wyoming State Museum in Cheyenne. I'm firearms historian Evan Green, and today our videographer Dean Peterson and I are doing our last hurrah together. So I want to kind of recap a little bit. Dean and I have been doing these videos for the last 7 years. We've done them at 3 different museums here in Wyoming and over 130 with over 900,000 views over that period of time. So I wish Dean the best of luck in his next endeavor, and hopefully we'll have another talented videographer on staff so that whatever happens, we're going to continue to do Firearms Friday. So today we're going to do a series of videos focusing on firearms from the 20th century. And most of those will be military firearms. We've got 3 submachine guns to talk about. We've got 2 different World War I infantry rifles to talk about, and the World War II M1 carbine. So kind of looking forward to doing that. We'd also have a Colt revolver coming up that has an interesting Wyoming story with it. And I'm going to do some things on camp knives. So let's kick off our military firearms. And here's the first one. This is a baby Browning. It was designed by Dieudonné Saive, probably butchered that pronunciation, who was also responsible for the final design of the Browning High Power. This was produced by F.N. Herstal in Belgium from about 1931 to 1979. It's a 25 ACP. I'll set out the cartridges here. This is the 25 ACP here compared to a 22 long rifle. This held 6 of those 25 ACP rounds in the magazine plus 1 in the chamber. The design was based on the 1908 Colt Vest pocket pistol that was designed by J.M. Browning. That one was a little bit larger and had a grip safety. This one does not. So if you're questioning, as I was initially, well, what's the military application of this particular little gun? There were several. It was issued as a last-ditch survival firearm to the MACV SOG in Vietnam, and that was Military Assistance Command Vietnam Statistics and Communications Group, which was a really bland name for a group of really hardcore special forces personnel who went into Laos and Cambodia, went into North Vietnam, rescuing Allied prisoners from the North Vietnamese, carrying out targeted assassinations and strikes. So again, kind of a last-ditch firearm for them. It was also purchased and issued to the Peruvian Air Force. And one source says that equipped with a silencer, it was used by North Korean infiltrators into South Korea. So kind of a cool little gun. I looked online, and you can buy these originals somewhere between $500 and $1,000 at the various firearms auction sites. There's another firm. They stopped making these in 1979. And there's a firm called, I think it's Precision Small Arms, that's making a licensed copy. And between, I think, back in the late 70s, early 80s, there was a firm called Bauer. They made an unlicensed copy of the Browning, the baby Browning, out of stainless steel. And those are still available, and they're not as expensive as the originals. And the PSA ones, the basic firearm, like this one, is like $1,200, and it goes all the way up to the thousands for the engraved fancy versions. So again, here's the cartridge, and this is the 25 ACP compared to a 22 long rifle. And the ballistics that I was able to find indicate that these are pretty similar in ballistics, ranging from 750 feet per second at the muzzle up to maybe 1,500. But a lot of those ballistic terms, or what they say is the velocity, sometimes those are from a longer barrel. And the thing with the shorter barrel is you don't get near that velocity, and you don't get enough to have a hollow point expand. So if you're carrying this little firearm for self-defense, what you want is penetration. And the ACP has an advantage over the long rifle in that it is a center fire cartridge. I shoot a lot of .22 long rifle. I shoot a lot of standard velocity .22 long rifle through a Colt automatic target pistol that was made in 1925. And with CCI ammunition, with good quality ammunition, I very, very seldom have a failure to fire. When I'm shooting the bargain bin stuff, which you get at Walmart in a 550 pack, I would say 3 to 4% of those fail to fire on first attempt. If you rotate it so that the firing pin strikes a different point on the rim, that usually works because the firing compound is centrifugally forced around the rim of the cartridge, and sometimes it doesn't get there. So we've covered the military use. Who did this belong to? Well, it belonged to a guy named Harry H. Schwarz. And Schwarz lived in Casper, Wyoming from 1915 to 1955. He was a Wyoming senator from 1937 to 1942. And his crowning achievement, in my opinion, is that when the United States was appropriating funds to train pilots for World War II, Schwarz insisted that those opportunities be extended to black airmen and black pilots as well. And when the United States was a little slow in doing that, he took it right upstairs to the Joint Chiefs of Staff and secured that kind of training and aircraft, which eventually led to the Tuskegee Airmen, who were amazing, amazing black pilots in World War II. So that's the baby Browning, and while I didn't think it was a military gun, well, there it is. So thank you for watching.